This is Bob. Bob enjoys watching Wonderhussy's videos on YouTube. He's been following her for years, and sometimes he leaves comments on her videos. Well, imagine Bob's delight when one day Wonderhussy replied to one of his comments. Bob was so excited. Truth be told, he developed something of a little crush on Wonderhussy, and it just tickled him to no end that she wanted to talk to him personally and in private. And at first, it was nice. Wonderhussy messaged him a lot and was very understanding and kind. She even agreed to meet up with him at a restaurant. But then she started talking to him about money. When was he getting his Social Security? Did he use Cash App? Would he send her $500? That made Bob kinda suspicious, but Wonderhussy kept telling him she loved him, and she even made an AI photo of them together. So he kept chatting with her, and sadly, she ended up bilking him out of $440. Don't be like Bob. Wonderhussy here with a very special episode of Wonderhussy Adventures. Okay, remember back in the day, those cheesy 80s sitcoms? Every once in a while, I guess the writers were on strike or on vacation and couldn't come up with an exciting plot, so they would do kind of like a public service announcement episode where the characters would face some kind of challenging issue of the times. Well, it's time for me to do one of those videos myself right here on the Wonderhussy Adventures channel because, well, unfortunately, Bob gave me this dossier of this unfortunate interaction he had with someone pretending to be me. Now, I know I already made a video pretty much exactly like this back in February of 2024, over a year and a half ago, but apparently not everybody watched that video, and if they did, they didn't quite get the memo. Like poor Bob. I mean, this guy, I'm calling him Bob to protect his privacy because I have a lot of respect for this guy for bringing this stuff to my attention. I mean, it could be considered pretty embarrassing to have fallen for a scammer. Look how thick this dossier is. Bob printed out screenshots of this entire cell phone texting conversation that had been going on for God knows how long between him and somebody who purported to be me. And it's really, frankly, well, for me, it's really embarrassing to read because, you know, this person's pretending to be me, and so I sort of feel responsible for it. But it's also, I mean, I'm a kind-hearted person. It's heartbreaking to read this. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, I tried to black out any identifying information on this. I mean, this is the phone number of the scammer that was impersonating me. And trust me, I thought about putting that phone number on blast so that everyone watching this video could send them unsolicited dick pics. But at the end of the day, the person, Bob, who entrusted me with this stuff, thought he might get in trouble if I did that, and I don't want to get poor Bob into any more trouble than he's already in. So I went ahead and blacked out the phone numbers and any identifying information. I mean, this thing is absolutely disgusting. It reads like the most lurid pulp novel ever. I mean, this side is quote-unquote me. That is the person pretending to be me. And then this side is Bob. Now, if it was a color scan, well, I guess they'd be in different colors, but okay, you get the idea. Anyway, I guess where it starts off is he wants to go to dinner. He wants to meet up for dinner. And so the scammer is like, oh, Olive Garden sounds cozy, especially with the soups. I'd definitely be up for that with you. Okay, that should be your first clue that this isn't me because I don't even like Italian food. I mean, it's not that I'm a snob. There's nothing wrong with Olive Garden for the sake of Olive Garden. I don't like pasta. I don't like bread. What the hell am I going to eat at Olive Garden? Anyway, they go on talking about where they're going to meet up, what restaurant it's going to be, and they decide on Olive Garden, and Bob tries to get me to commit to showing up on a certain day, but then I go, well, did you receive your SSI or till Wednesday? Okay, that should be another red flag. First of all, I'm not greedy like that, but I guess you don't really know me. If you're watching this, you might think you know me. And, that's a problem with people like Bob, and maybe people like many of you out there. You watch my videos or some other YouTuber's videos, and you see my face up close and personal on your TV or on your phone, whatever you watch it on, every week, twice a week, and it's almost like you're FaceTiming with someone. You feel like you really know the person. And sometimes, like Bob, you might develop, I think it's called limerence, when you have a crush on somebody that you don't really know. You think you know the person. You have an idea of what you think the person is like. I had an experience with this myself, when was that, 2 years ago, when I called this guy that had been hitting on me, that watched my channel and said he had a crush on me, and then when I talked to him in person and he heard how annoying and obnoxious I really am in real life, he was not interested at all, and he's the one who told me about this concept of a limerent relationship. I think that's how you would say it, limerence. Dante had it for Beatrice, okay, if you're familiar with medieval literature. Anyway, all of that is just to say that this guy is in good company if I'm mentioning him in the same video as Dante. But I would never ask somebody if they got their SSI. That's Social Security. So basically, I am hitting him up for money, or wondering if he has it yet, or till Wednesday. Which should be another red flag, because I don't use poor grammar like that. If I was going to say, oh, did you get your Social Security yet? Or you won't get it until Wednesday. That's how I would say it. But again, poor Bob didn't really know me, and so they go back and forth talking about some other stuff, and then I keep hitting him up. Well, do you have Cash App? And then poor Bob, no, I just have an app from my credit union. Bob, stop. It just, my heart hurts for poor Bob that he actually fell for this junk. And he's not a dumb guy. I mean, he was a programmer. He programmed BASIC, COBOL 2, and RPG 3. I don't even know what that is, but he's obviously smarter than me in many ways. But I like to think I would never fall for something like this. Although, I don't think any of us can sit back and laugh at Bob. I know there's probably some people watching this going, well, how dumb was this guy to fall for this? Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. I know there's many of you watching out there, men, that get these fake friend requests on Facebook of these sexy girls who go, hi, message me privately. And you'd be surprised how many times those fake female profiles try to add me, and I go look at their page and I see how many of my male friends accepted their friend request. I mean, come on, guys. But again, I don't blame you at all, because everyone's lonely. I mean, the human condition is you want to be loved and you want to find love, and some babe hits you up on Facebook, of course you're going to fall for it. Anyway, goes on and on and on. I ask him for money again. I guess I was trying to get $500 from him. Thank goodness he either didn't have the money or was being cagey and just pretended like he didn't have the money, because he never sends it, despite me constantly saying, I love you. And then it actually gets kind of dirty. Okay, I don't even think I want to read this stuff out loud, because some of this stuff is actually it gets kind of steamy. I start telling him about this dream I had about the two of us. I'm not exactly sure where the dream is, but I mean, here's a prime example where I am talking about how I want our firsts to be tender, natural, and without pressure, whether that's just lying side by side, holding each other close, or sharing that first kiss when it feels right. I mean, really? And to think that this is probably some friggin' African dude writing all of this makes it even more bizarre. I imagine it starting slow and gentle, just the two of us stretched out on the bed, facing each other, maybe holding hands at first, your warmth close to me. I can't even read the rest of this out loud, because it's embarrassing that somebody is pretending to be me, having these sexy thoughts and sexy dreams about, this poor guy that I don't even know. This chick really led this dude on to make him think that I wanted to meet up with him. Look, I'm guessing it was a guy. I mean, I can't be 100% for sure, but I'm pretty sure there's a dude behind this. So anyway, he made this AI image out of a picture of Bob, which I did what I could to obscure his identity. And then they pasted a picture of me. Look at that. They got a freaking photo. Well, it's not an actual photo of me. And I can tell that because of the hat. Boy, I'm telling you, you have to really be on top of things to not get scammed these days. I wear a hat very similar to the hat that the AI creation in this picture is wearing, but I've been very vocal and very adamant about the fact that I only like these old school foam and mesh trucker hats. I have this weird thing where I think I have a small head, and I don't like the way I look with these kind of hats, which you can tell that's one of those flat canvas twill ball caps. Okay, if you actually knew me in person, you would know that I would never be caught dead wearing one of... Well, okay, I would wear one of those before being caught dead, but boy, I really don't like wearing that style of hat. And it's really kind of freaky. I don't even know where they got this picture of me, but I'm guessing this person, obviously they have access to all my videos and they have access to ChatGPT. In fact, I'll bet you anything, a lot of these responses, especially the really long ones, were just generated by ChatGPT. I'm pretty sure they just fed some crap into ChatGPT, like all this last night I dreamed of us lying together. I'm sure that's all just some bunk come up with by some stupid AI robot. I guess that's redundant to say AI robot. Anyway, look at this, how gross this is. Just reading that makes me melt, sweetheart. The thought of your lips on mine. I mean, no offense to you, Bob. I'm not puking at the thought of you. I'm just puking at the thought of me saying something so corny. Then here I am, still asking him for money. And it looks like he's getting ready to actually give it to me, but he's a little suspicious because he wants to know, why do I need it? Did Carlo get you overextended? Now, what he meant by that is, in some of my videos earlier this summer, because I guess this has been going on, or had been going on all summer long. Earlier in the summer, Carlo was helping me remodel my house in Vegas, and I did spend way more money than I wanted to because of all the stuff he thought I should do to it, which is a whole other story, but anyway... I guess this guy thought like maybe Carlo talked me into spending too much money on that house, and now I don't have any money to pay for bills. I don't even know what it is I was asking him for money for. But he asked me, did Carlo get you overextended? And then I go, oh, not at all, love. I've just been pacing myself and keeping these balanced. Carlo didn't get me overextended. I'm still all yours, with my heart and energy saved for you. Do you want to tell me what made you wonder about that? Okay, I think that's proof that this scammer doesn't really know that much about me. I mean, of course, they're not going to sit there and watch every single one of my videos. They watch enough or figure out enough to know how to impersonate you to an extent. But this person had no idea who Carlo was and probably thought that Bob was jealous of some dude named Carlo who was trying to get in my pants. Which, if you've watched any of my videos with Carlo, and hi, Carlo, if you happen to be watching this, I hope you don't take offense to this, but... Come on, really? So anyway, it goes on and on and on and on and on and on, and I guess I'm trying to get an Apple card for $500 from him now. I'm guessing that's like a gift card for the Apple store or something. Maybe I told him I needed a new laptop or something, but I'm just stringing him along. You know, what did you had for breakfast? Again, another red flag that this isn't me texting. I would not say, what did you had for breakfast? In fact, that right there to me sounds like it's somebody from a non-English speaking country or a non-native English speaker. Not only because what did you had for breakfast, but then he goes, the same thing again, I'm afraid. And they go, why are you afraid? It's an expression, like the same thing again, unfortunately, okay? I mean, this person doesn't even know the expression, I'm afraid. So that's a pretty good indicator to me that it's a non-native English speaker. Oh, I'm really desperate. Oh, you can't try and get it today? Please. And I even put the little praying hands emoji. I'm on my knees. On my knees? Let me tell you something. Wonderhussy don't get on her knees for no one. Well, actually, that's not true. I kissed that guy's feet at Burning Man because he gave me those holy beads from India. But anyway, I guess I told him I was going to pay him back. I'm stringing him along. I mean, this thing goes on for like... I don't know how many pages this is, 50 pages or something? I guess at one point he quits answering me, and so I'm like, hello? Wah, crying face, you're not responding. Maybe you don't love me anymore. Oh, okay, I'm in Nevada now. Okay, if nothing else in here has been a red flag, the fact that I can't spell Nevada should be a huge one. Oh, and then because this particular viewer, Bob, is Christian, he's very religious, I start talking about Jesus talk to him. Always remember, Jesus loves you. But by this point, Bob is pretty well on to me. I think you're far away from knowing Jesus for you to do something like that. I give you money again, and this is the thanks I get? Oh gosh, I didn't realize he gave me money more than once. Oh, Bob. And then I quote Bible verses out of Matthew 6:14, Colossians 3:13. No offense to the Christians watching this video, of which I know there are many, but that's another pretty big indicator that this ain't me. I didn't even know there was a Bible book called Colossians. In fact, I'm like Trump. I would probably say 2 Corinthians instead of 2 Corinthians. Remember how he did that once at a evangelical speech? Okay, well then, I don't know. I guess they get back into it and he finally answers me. But he says something about the $440 you got out of me. So I guess he sent this person at least $440, and I supposedly was going to pay him back once I received my YouTube benefit. Which, again, sounds like something either I was going to say a non-native English speaker, but maybe a British English speaker would say. And speaking of British English, I feel like there was a good indicator of that on this page too, where I was talking about Olive Garden sounds cozy. C-O-S-Y. That's the way British people spell cozy, okay? In America, we spell it with a Z. C-O-Z-Y. And I should note that I did try to Google this phone number, and obviously you can't really Google a phone number because then all these other scam services pop up when you need to pay to find, whose number has been texting you. But the area code was from Connecticut. So I don't know how that works, if there's like something that you can get any phone number routed through a Connecticut area code. That's probably the case. I guess I asked him for the $500 to pay a lawyer who will help me regain my rights. Once that's settled, I'll finally have access to my YouTube income again. I've also been thinking I'd really like you to be my new manager because I trust you and want us to build this together. Manager? Oh my God, do I look like I have a manager? I mean, I definitely need a manager. If there are any professional managers watching this video, let me know. But I don't have a manager. I do everything myself. I am a one-woman operation. I have to shoot, edit, drive, plan, research, all of it. Hair, makeup, I do it all myself. Every now and then I'm able to coerce somebody into holding a camera for me while I shoot some B-roll, but I certainly don't have a manager. But all my flattering him, asking him to be my manager, apparently doesn't work because he gets really mad and says, are you acting alone or is there a group of you taking money from others? See, he really got wise to it. But then I go, I'm not a scammer and I resent being called one. I've been honest about myself and my struggles. I don't take advantage of people, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. And then it turns into like this long religious argument back and forth, yelling. And I think he kind of compares me to a prostitute at one point. And then look at this. Towards the end of it, hi, I'm trying to call, and he will not pick up the phone. So I guess, eventually, Bob got wise. Well, yes, obviously, eventually Bob got wise because he did give me this entire dossier of fake information in the hopes that this could be a cautionary tale for other people watching this video, because I have gotten several emails from people in the past thinking that I had messaged them on Telegram. Telegram is an app they use a lot, so be very, very careful if somebody says, message me on Telegram, even if they're not pretending to be me. In general, I think Telegram is nothing but friggin' scammers. I'm just glad that Bob did eventually wise up, even though they scammed him out of at least $440, if not more. I'm not sure what the total amount was. And I don't think Bob has very much money because, like a lot of my viewers, I mean, if I look at my analytics, most of my viewers are over the age of 65, even older, a lot of my viewers, which is fine. I love older people. I think older people are some of the most interesting people to talk to. Unfortunately, a lot of you don't have a ton of money. You're living on fixed incomes. You're living on your Social Security, and $440 is a lot of money for this poor guy. So I'm really, really sickened, and that's a really good word for it. I'm friggin', I almost said the other F word, friggin' sickened by the fact that there are people like this in this world. And I watched another video by another YouTube channel, because this isn't just my channel. It's not like I think I'm so amazing that I have all these people to pretending to be me. No, it happens to a lot of YouTubers that have, I think it's mainly YouTubers that have older audiences, and please don't take this wrong, but these scammers realize that, you know, the older generation, baby boomers and even older, they're not as technologically savvy, and so they're not as likely to pick up on these little weird things, and they don't really understand. Like, one time I got an email from a guy going, "Hey, you asked me to telegram you. Do you mean Western Union?" Anyway, unfortunately, these scammers prey on the technologically unsophisticated, I'll just say, which happens to be a lot of baby boomers. And there was another YouTube channel that had the same problem happen, and this guy, I can't remember the name of the channel, but he actually engaged with the scammer. He replied to one of the comments or something and started a whole dialogue. I think he paid the scammer $100 to talk to him and tell him what was going on. And the guy was based out of West Africa. I want to say Liberia. I think they were out of Liberia or Nigeria, maybe. It's like that whole, "I am a Nigerian prince. I need you to send me $500 to unlock this $5,000 that's waiting for you." Remember that old chestnut of a scam from the 1990s when email first came out? This stuff just gets recycled. Well, apparently there's these scammers in West Africa, anyway, that run these scams, and they successfully bilk thousands of dollars out of the followers of these various YouTubers. And it's not just YouTube, it's also on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll get to that in a minute. But man, I think it's really interesting, and I know this is going to sound terrible, but I have a certain measure of respect for the scammers, because you have to be pretty clever to carry on all this. I mean, sometimes they'll send you hours and hours and hours of messages that just say, "Oh, I love you, blah, blah, blah," before they even ask you for a single dollar. They spend a lot of time grooming you and building up your relationship before they go, "Oh," like another guy sent me a screenshot once. My van broke down. I needed a new transmission, so I needed $300. It's interesting because these scammers know enough about your channel to know, okay, she's got a travel channel. She's probably a van lifer. Well, they don't know me well enough to know I don't have a van. I have a Toyota 4Runner, which transmission will never break down. They know just enough about you to make it believable, and that's how they rope you in. And with the whole added element of AI and deep fakes, well, it all just makes it even more crazy. I mean, but like I said, I do have a certain measure of respect for these scammers because of their ingenuity and the time that it takes and the deviousness. And also, I mean, this is kind of weird and maybe controversial, but you know, if these people are West African, in a way, it's like their payback for, you know, colonialism, slavery, whatever. I mean, I'm not trying to ruffle any feathers here. I'm just saying a lot of Africans were really taken advantage of by white folks, and so maybe in a way it's kind of like their way of getting even. They're getting their reparations back one way or another. So, what can I do about this situation? What can we do about this situation to make sure that no one else falls for any of these scammers ever again? I never want to have another viewer send $440 to some idiot in Nigeria. Not if I can help it. YouTube is actually pretty good about all this. You can actually verify your account on YouTube. So they put like a little check mark next to your name. And there's a pretty obvious way on YouTube of knowing if it's really the YouTuber or not. Okay, I'm just gonna go into the comments section on one of my videos. This is the most recent video that I uploaded. The unbelievable true story of Bobby the Wonder Dog, which I see only 30,000 people watch, which isn't that many for one of my videos. So if you haven't watched it yet, what's holding you back? It's actually a really interesting story. But anyway, down in the comments, I don't actually respond to a lot of comments. And it's not just because I'm being a jerk. It's just that I already spend 80, sometimes 90 hours a week just cranking these videos out and doing all the other stuff. I mean, I answer as much email as I can. I just don't have time to respond to all the comments, A. And B, I also have really low self-esteem. I know that doesn't seem likely, but it's true. I can't handle any negative comments, so I don't ever really go in and answer the comments. But I'm going to make an exception right here for this video. I'm going to go into the comments and let's just answer this top one right here. Somebody wants to thank me for covering this wonderful story. They're a sustaining member of the Oregon Humane Society. Okay, that's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and like it. Now, somebody already replied to that comment, thanking them for their organization and volunteers. So you can see this person's name was Cheryl, Arizona. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for commenting. Anyway, you can see what her response looks like. Now, I'm going to reply to the comment, and I'm going to say, thank you so much. Now, watch what happens when I reply. Wonderhussy, look at that. A big black rectangle around my username with a check mark next to it. Do you see the difference between that and Cheryl, Arizona's name? Well, you should be able to pay very close attention to this, you guys. If somebody replies to your comment, even if it says at Wonderhussy or Wonderhussy Adventures, whatever, unless it has this big black rectangle around it with that check mark, it's not me. And unfortunately, it's not just YouTube. I also have a lot of impersonators on Facebook. In fact, I think that might be where most of my followers get scammed. Like, for instance, this fake page here looks pretty convincing. I mean, for comparison, here's my real Facebook page. Looks pretty similar, huh? But if you put on your cleanest pair of glasses and really look at it, it's pretty obvious. This account only has 4 followers. I mean, I may not be Mr. Beast, but you know I would have more than that. You can see on my real page, I have 59K. Now, somewhat confusingly, there's also a Wonderhussy fan group someone started about me on Facebook, but they're not pretending to be me. That's just a place where people can post stuff and talk about me behind my back. In a good way. Now, final word on all of this. If somebody does message you purporting to be me, and they pass all these different smell tests and everything looks good and you really think it's me, but you're still not 100% sure, what can you do? You can email me. And I only have one email address that I use for this stuff, and that is wonderhussy@gmail.com. That's wonderhussy@gmail.com. That's my personal email account. I check it damn near every dang day, and I answer as much email as I can, and I try to really keep an eye out for people who are checking to see if a certain message is real or not. I will almost certainly respond to you and let you know if it's fake or real, but please email me sparingly. Only email me if you really can't tell, because oh my god, I'm drowning in email and it's not driving me crazy, it's ruining my personal life. I have no personal life. I spend all my personal life answering email and making videos and doing all this stuff and trying to avoid these damn scammers. So hopefully you found this video entertaining, informative, and you won't fall for the same stuff that poor Bob did. Let's all take a minute for Bob. Bob, if you're watching this video, I apologize. Even though I didn't do anything wrong, I feel bad. This person is using my name and it makes me sick. Matter of fact, I'm really tempted to put this fake me phone number on blast, but again, who knows what would happen to you guys. Maybe there is no way to really engage with them other than to just ignore them. You know, it's like your mom always said about bullies. Just ignore them, and they'll eventually get bored and go away. And that's definitely the case with these scammers. If you ignore them, they will eventually get bored and move on to someone else's YouTube channel who has dumber followers.